What is all this nonsense about Midge being too delicate to go to school? There, I'll do that. I know how you like it.
Good schools cost money.
Bad ones cost more. What's wrong with the high school? It did well enough for Chloe and Sybil, and it's doing well enough for Wendy.
Midge is a bit difficult.
I know it's not easy for you to send Muriel's daughter to school with the children of common labourers, but times are changing and we've got to change with them. I mean, why should you be afraid that the other girls will influence her? She's more likely to influence them.
Midge is all I've got left now. I've failed in everything else. I mustn't fail her.
Well, it's your daughter you're educating, not Lord Sedgmire's. If he'd lend a hand, it'd be a different matter, but he doesn't. He left his daughter and his granddaughter with you to deal with. It's not your fault that Muriel's where she is, poor soul. And Midge is a dear child, but she needs knocking into shape. She needs the company of children her own age. It's not good for her to be alone so much.
Yeah, that's what Campbell said.
Well, Dr. Campbell's right. I suppose you know how they worked the election.
Oh, yes.
I told them that you were as sound as the Bank of England. And this rumour about you failing was a lie. A damn lie. How true is it?
Oh, I shall manage. I plan to sell some horses to pay harvest wages. I deal with a chap in the West Riding. Of course, I shall lose a bit.
Of course, you know it was Snaith who started the rumour.
I don't need telling.
Well, a lot of it's your own fault, you know. You will go at him. I've told you before, he's a queer friend, but he's a worse enemy. There's not a thing going on in the South Riding he doesn't know about, not a thing that he knows about that he can't make use of.
Yes, he's as straight as a corkscrew.
Oh, there you're wrong. No, he's not crooked. He's slim, but he'd never break the law. All he'll do is to work in the dark for what he thinks is righteous. He sees you as an obstruction, and you are too. As I've always told you, you overdo the economy cry. I mean, it's one thing to champion the ratepayer, and another to block all the action. Oh, never mind. We'll get you in next time. But you mustn't go out of your way to offend Snaith. Can you afford another 100 or so a year to send Midge to a good boarding school?
No, but I thought...
You thought you could do it cheaper. You thought you could put off deciding. Well, you can't. Now, be a man. Face up to it. Send her to the high school with Wendy. You don't like our Miss Burton,
No.
I remember her mother. She had breeding. Touch of the bar sinister somewhere in that family, I shouldn't wonder.
I remember the father, drunken oaf of a man. I took a mare to him once when she'd cast a shoe. We'd lost a fox that lived in sticks. He'd been drinking then. He missed with a hammer and bruised the horse's shin bone.
Well, what did you do?
Pushed him out of the way and finished the job myself. But the mare was never the same again. She never carried quite so easily. And next year at Haynes Point to Point, she fell and broke her back.
You know what finished him, don't you? One Saturday night he came home more than usually drunk and fell flat on his face in the water trough that he used for cooling irons. His wife must have thought he'd gone off with some woman somewhere. She never even bothered to look for him until Monday morning.
And you've just appointed his daughter to be headmistress of the high school?
Well, I can't say I saw any signs of her lifting her elbow.
Oh, no. No, I didn't mean...
You don't know what you mean, do you? Isn't it because she's a little red-haired whippersnapper who's not afraid of the Board of Governors and who'll likely stir up some of the dust that Miss Holmes let rest over her 25 years. I'll tell you something. I've been weighing people up for a long time now, and I know that that girl will wear well. In fact, I'll make it my business to see that she does. Do you want some more tea?
No, thank you.
You can pour yourself a scotch and soda if you like. I don't care what time it is.
No, I haven't taken to the bottle yet.
Oh, you mustn't take things so hard. By the time you're 70, you'll have learned that we have to make the best of the world God's given us and not expect too much of anyone, not even ourselves.
Granny Beddoes! I didn't know you were here.
Hello, my dear.
Hello.
Your father and I have been appointing a new headmistress at the high school. She's a little red-haired lady who isn't afraid of anyone, not even me.
Who's afraid of you, Granny Beddoes?
Oh, you'll be surprised. I've got a sharp tongue, you know, and I use it on purpose when I want something done. Even your father, I believe, is a little bit timid of me at times.
Midge, would you like to go to school next term with Wendy?
Yes. Yes, darling Daddy. Please.
That's all settled then.
In the habitation of dragons. Isaiah's words come to us to rebuild the wilderness. Not to some long ago people in some distant place, but to us here and now. For the wilderness and the desert are all about us on every side, if we only have the eyes to look at them. And the dragons we must fight in the name of the Lord are those of misery and squalor and overcrowding. Do you know those little alleys of East Kinsport, my friends? Filthy, verminous, crawling with sin. Aye, sin! There be dragons, my friends. There be dragons indeed. 5 or 6 adults to a single bedroom. What purity can you expect there? Men and women, yes, and boys and girls together. And who is to blame? Is it they themselves who are feckless and lazy, dissolute, so lacking in any shame that they cannot lift themselves out of the mire into a better life? Oh, how I hate misery, my friends. How I hate and loathe and abominate it. And what a different world in God's name we could build.
Hallelujah.
Is it a dream that not a woman should be overburdened? Not a child forlorn? Not a man discouraged? That youth should endure forever? That strength should never fail? That love and gaiety and song and feasting should reign on earth as surely as they reign eternally in heaven? I say no, brothers and sisters, it is not a dream. For it is no more than our Christian duty to strive unceasingly to establish God's kingdom here on earth unto the day when Isaiah's prophecy shall come to pass, and the ravening beast shall be cast out, the wilderness made good and fruitful, and the ransomed of the Lord return again unto the Zion of Christian decency, with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads.